Welcome to the Studio Success Formula Podcast, the business school for dance studio owners. And now for your host, Clint Salter.
Hey there, dance studio owners. It's Clint here from Studio Success Formula and the Dance Studio Owners Association, and welcome to today's podcast. Wow, can you believe it? Hello, December. We're here, and if you're on our email newsletter list, you would have seen a couple of weeks ago, just before Thanksgiving, I sent out an email with the 6 things that I was really grateful for, that I am really grateful for, that have happened in 2015, and the people in my life that I truly treasure. And it kind of got me thinking when I sent out this email, and I got lots of responses from all of you saying, you know, letting me know, sharing with me what you're grateful for and any of those big kind of aha moments that you've had during this year. And I really appreciated you sharing that with me. And it got me thinking that I wanted to kind of dig a little bit deeper to start preparing myself for the new year. Now, if you've been following Studio Success Formula and the association for a little while now, you know that in November, I always do kind of a 2-week business planning, conjuring up new ideas, looking at things that didn't work this year, looking at things that worked, and I kind of go a little bit crazy during those 2 weeks, just really getting clear on what I want to achieve the following year in the business. But what I thought I really wanted to do is I wanted to, in December, kind of assess all the areas of my life. So I really wanted to dig in and have a look at everything. I call it like a life audit, you know, go through and assess the main key areas in your life. Look at where you are now. Also look at where you were 12 months ago, compare the difference, and then also forecast for, okay, cool, so I'm a little bit low in this area. I want to get a higher score in that area. What do I need to do next year to really make that happen, to reach that goal, to achieve what I want? And so I kind of had a little bit of think about this, and I was like, all right, well, how am I going to set this up? How am I going to do it? And I was really lucky because one of my mentors, Michael Hyatt, who some of you might have heard about before, actually released the Lifescore Assessment. Now, this is super, super cool, and I'm going to give you the link where you can actually get access to this Lifescore Assessment for free, where you can actually go through and assess the different areas of your life. And you can pick and choose which ones you want to assess. And so there's spiritual, there's intellectual, which is around the different types of trainings, workshops you do, books that you read. It's super cool. So we've also got emotional, like how are you performing on an emotional level? You know, do you often feel sad? Or maybe you have some bad days and some bad days during the week. Are you generally happy, or are you almost always happy? So we look at emotional. The assessment also covers the physical. You know, are you feeling energetic and alive, or are you feeling a bit tired and lethargic? Talks about your relationships that you're in. If you're a parent, you can see how well you're doing, how fulfilled you are as a parent. It also talks about the social side of life. And I know this is a foreign one for so many studio owners, right? Like social. And you're like, Clint, what's social? What's a social life outside of my studio? Now, if you're part of our association or our Studio Success Formula program, you know that we talk about this a lot because it's really important for you as a studio owner to have a life outside of your business. You actually don't need to be working 70 hours a week. I don't know who made that rule up for dance studio owners, but it's not one you should be following. And you need to have a life outside of it. So it'd be really interesting to see how you score in that part, because I know a lot of studio owners generally score quite low in the social space because they do spend so much time at their studio. Also goes into your job, so your career as a studio owner, the financial side of life as well. Like, how are you on your finances? You know, are you fearful about the future that you're not going to have enough money, or are you in control, or do you really think about your finances because you've got everything covered? And so this Lifescore assessment that Michael has put together is super, super cool. And I went through it just on the weekend, and I found it really interesting. So as I kind of went through and compared my results with last year as well, it was great to see that I've lifted in each of the areas that I selected in my life, which is great. So even if it's by 1 point or 2 points, it's still a lift, which is really important. I've noticed a couple of big shifts that I've made. One of them, as you know, is over the last, nearly 3 months now, I've been really focusing on my health. We launched 3 really big projects around August and September, huge projects. My team were amazing, but it put a little bit of pressure on me as well, because I was traveling at that time, speaking at all the dance conventions in the US and in Canada as well, and we were launching these projects. So I kind of came home and I was like, wow, you know what? I need to look after myself more. Because when you're on the road, you make excuses and you eat you might eat some rubbish food, and there's lots of social events as well, so you might be drinking some alcohol. And so I kind of came home and was like, right, you know what? I need to get a trainer. I need to start putting better fuel into my body so that I have I have good energy during the day. And so that's a big change that I've made just over the last couple of months, and I've seen a huge improvement. So it was good to kind of look at my physical last year, which sat at a 5, and my physical this year, which sat at a 9 in the Lifescore assessment, and it goes up to 12. So if you want to get the Lifescore assessment, now Michael's offering this for free, just go to studiolifescore.com. So if you go to studiolifescore.com, you'll see a page where you can get access to this Lifescore assessment, and definitely put some half an hour to an hour in your diary this week to actually go through the assessment. Because I know a lot of you, right? If you listen to this podcast, you would have heard me say before, if you don't work, nothing does. And so the great thing about this is it just really shows you exactly where you're working really and where you're not. So you can go, you know what? Wow. I have been spending way too much time at the studio and I feel a bit disconnected from my family. That might be something that comes up for you. Or I worry every week about my finances. Our cash flow is poor in our studio. I need to improve that. What do I need to do that? So it really makes you aware of where you're at. The really exciting thing about this is it shows you where the opportunities are. So when you get a score, I don't want you to look at a particular score and go, oh, I'm not very good, or oh, I can't believe I got that score, I'm a failure. It's not about that. So please just really, when you look at it, and you might say, out of 12, you've got like a 6 or a 7 or even lower, it is the best, because you can go, wow, what a great opportunity. I have so much room here to grow and really push it to the next level to achieve what I want in 2016. So that's what I reckon is really exciting, is kind of looking at the numbers and saying, yeah, this is awesome. This is so cool. And so that's kind of what I worked on over the weekend. It only took me about an hour to go through the whole thing, which is cool. And now I'm really just looking at, okay, what action steps do I need to put in place to actually achieve what I want to achieve, So if I had a 7 in something and I want to get to a 10, what do I need to do next year to get to a 10? And we all know it's not about the ideas, guys. It's about putting an action plan together. So I hope you take a little bit of time out to check out the life assessment. Again, just go to studiolifescore.com, check out the assessment, fill it in, go to your favorite place, whether it's like a park or a beach or your favorite room in your house, fill out the assessment and it's going to be fascinating. And if you want, share it with us through social media. Share with us what your results and what you're wanting to achieve next year. That would be super cool. You can go to facebook.com/Studio Success Formula or /Dance Studio Owners Association, and you can post there and let me know. I'd love to know what you thought of Michael's Lifescore assessment as well. He's been a mentor of mine for many years, and I always sit down at the end of the year, usually during this time, and go through my whole life. I do the business stuff in November, but then I get to really assess every aspect of my life in December. So I hope you make some time this week to do exactly the same, because it only takes that one thing, one area of your life for you to look at and go, you know what, I could be doing better in that. This is what I'm going to do so that I can get a better score, so I can be more fulfilled, have more energy, spend more time with my family, get closer to really that life that you want to lead. Awesome. So guys, that's it from me this week. We have some really awesome interviews coming up. Next week, we have, I'm not going to tell you who it is, but you are going to want to check out our podcast next week. It's an interview with an amazing woman, creative woman, who went from a small town, dancing in a small town, to being on So You Think You Can Dance, being the performance producer on Dancing with the Stars, which you would have watched recently. She is amazing, and the insight she shares with me, phenomenal for you as studio owners, but also to pass on to your students and teachers. So looking forward to bringing you that episode next week. In the meantime, look forward to seeing you on social media, and we'll chat to you then. Take care. Bye for now.
Are you enjoying the Studio Success Formula podcast? Then we'd love for you to share the love. We want to help more dance studio owners become go-to studios, so we'd greatly appreciate you writing us a review on iTunes. For taking the time out to do so, every month, Clint will be selecting one lucky dance studio owner to receive a Power Business Coaching session. Simply visit the iTunes store today, search for Studio Success Formula, click on ratings and reviews, and then write your review. Thanks in advance. Take care, and we'll see you next time.